combined response to the request for a Dhamma talk and asking for forgiveness. It's humility is such an important factor in developing the path. And I talk about bowing as an act of humility. We take our head, this kind of powerful symbol of self, and we put it down, put it on the ground actually. But it's that relative movement. As my head goes down, other things go up. So this sense of what is it that we raise higher than our own ego self. Took me a while as a junior, when I first ordained in New Zealand, people would come and bow to me, even as an anagarika. Say, no, you want the guy at the end there. Not me. You know, took me a while to realise it's not personal. It's not me. I mean, you know, spent some time with some of you, sharing Dhamma and just generally chatting. So there's a personal element gets included in that. But the archetype of a monk has a meaning, a symbology, a power far beyond the individual. So what that represents, you know, taking refuge, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, it's not me. I can say, well, I'm part of the Sangha. But when we relate, I mean, all of those refuges, I put them together. You know, what is it to be a part of Sangha? Well, classically, it's the Arya Sangha, the four pairs. But for all of it, and you know, there's a broader definition to, you know, the male devotees, the female devotees, the bhikkhus and the bhikkhunis. Fourfold Sangha, but at a much more personal, deeper level actually than that kind of those conventional structures. Like Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, I often think like teacher, teaching, and students. It's a nice, easy way to think. The Buddha was a teacher, and his teaching, the Dhamma, and we are the Buddha's students. So that's a general, but on this very personal level, what it is to be the Buddha, that which is wise. Buddha's not a person, not a name. It's a human quality. Maybe it's actually a quality of all life, but the fact is we are humans, so we work with that. And we have this capacity to be awake, to be wise, to be present, to know. And what does a Buddha know? Buddha knows the Dhamma. Truth of the way things are, the truth of this moment, the present moment. This is what we have, this is all we have. To be able to wake up to that, to be truly present, to be truly alive actually, not half alive. You know, when you're off in La La Land or wherever you go in meditation, it's not your breath or whatever you do. You know, we wander off and we go, and then we wake up, and then we wander off and we wake up. We have that capacity to establish that as the default, to be the Buddha, knowing the Dhamma, and this is what it is to be Sangha. I mean, it's just a way of reflecting, but seeing that as an internal dynamic, a kind of a personal configuration. When you're truly awake, when you're not angry, when you're not craving, mind is calm. And just allowing that to, maybe not, capital B Buddha, but this is the awakening of that aspect. Like in Mahayana, they talk about Buddha mind, Buddha nature. You don't see that in the Pali Canon, but as a reflection, where is Nibbana? Where is enlightenment? It's got to be here. Where else can it be? To be an Arahant, to be a Buddha, and we can analyse classically the difference. Buddha self-realised, Arahants following on from the Buddha's teaching, and so. But experientially, I don't see that there's such a huge difference. So this quality we have to bow, to be able to bend, that our ego is not supreme. We're not so special in the universe, but the fact is we are. Here we are, somehow encapsulated in a body. How do we talk about that? But we have this possibility to look towards something that's more grand, something that's more noble, something that's more worthy, actually. The supreme, the highest, these kind of epithets for the path, for the goal. The island, the other shore, the unborn, the unoriginated, all this. Actually looking to develop an understanding of that. And the ego is that's psychologically, it's the common term, the sense of self, wrong view, gets in the way. We can minimise that just simply by bowing. So this is asking for forgiveness. Say your behaviour has been exemplary. You should have a little bag with gold stars. There's a really, I don't know, some of you might be familiar with an American author called Dr. Seuss. Some of you heard of him. He most famous for his children's books. And he wrote one called The Sneetches. And the Sneetches, they lived on beaches. By the seaside, on the beach. Sneetches on beaches. And there were two different kinds of Sneetches. There were Sneetches that had stars on their belly. The star belly Sneetches. And there were Sneetches that didn't have stars, and the ones with stars, they were the elite. They were the rich ones, they were the important ones, they were the powerful ones. They would have their barbecue down that end of the beach, the best end of the beach. And the Sneetches that didn't have stars, they'd just be sort of with the rocky part of the beach, not so nice. Anyway, there's a character called Gerald McBoyne. Had some wonderful characters in his stories, but anyway, Gerald McBoyne came along with a star-on machine. He had a machine, and just for $5, you could go in the machine and you could get a star. So all the non-star Sneetches were all lining up with their $5, and poof, they get the star, poof, they get the star. And the ones up the other end of the beach are looking at not quite sure what to do. How do you tell the difference? So just with the flick of a switch, Gerald McBoyne turned his star-on machine into a star-off machine. And just for $10, you could get your star taken off. So all of the star belly Sneetches lining up with their $10. Cutting the story short, flick of the switch, star on, star off, star on, star. It got so confusing. Nobody knew. They couldn't remember is stars on good, is stars off good, or anything. So in the end, they're all shaking hands and having in the middle of the beach. They had a big barbecue, and the last picture is Gerald McBoyne pushing off with a big wheelbarrow full of money. So of course there's a moral to the story. the way we give value to these things. So do you have a star or 2 stars or like 5-star generals in the army? We create these quite silly points of reference, whether you've got a fancy watch or the name brand handbag, or that somehow gets you into the party down that end of the beach. It's so much of it's ego based, it's arrogance, it's conceit, ataditi, manaditi, these kinds of things. We don't need to pay $5 or $10, of course the price goes up every time, to stay in the club, the elite club, the special club. Just to be in the Buddha club doesn't cost anything. It's this capacity to be simple, to be humble, to bow. It's quite a relief, actually. Being a 5-star general must be a real pain in the neck, I imagine. Being somebody, is rich and famous, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, and Donald Trump, and Mr. Putin. You have to have bodyguards and dogs. Being able to just be free. They're not. They're actually trapped in a prison. They can't. Can they even relax? No. Just possibility of letting go. No stars on, no stars off, no stars. So yeah, forgiveness, it is a humbling thing to be open to, ask for it, and it's even more humbling to receive. I can't think of anything to, but when you've done something and you know that it hasn't gone well with the other person or with the situation, to ask them to give you feedback on that. It's quite difficult. You have to open your heart and listen, receive that which is maybe a bit uncomfortable. They say things about you that you'd rather not hear. Oh my gosh, do I really do that? Do I really say those kinds of things? Yeah, sometimes. And from that, we can grow. Okay. Anyway, that's a few thoughts. So it's been very nice to spend some time here. I've visited a few other places. Had an equally warm welcome, hospitality, and encourage you in your ongoing Dhamma journey, study, practice, association with the wise. That's all of you. Not associating with the fools or the star belly, the snitchy, Jill boy types. Anyway, I want to know.
So now we go to the page 17, offering of food to Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.